You know that feeling, right? When you know exactly what you should be doing to hit your goal, you might even want to do it, but when the time comes, you just don't. It's this super frustrating battle between what we want and what we actually do. So today, we're going to dive deep into the one skill that really truly separates those who achieve from those who just dream: discipline.
Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. This is the conflict that trips almost everyone up: motivation versus discipline. We all love motivation, don't we? It's that exciting, electric feeling, that huge burst of energy. The problem? It's a total slave to your mood. Discipline, on the other hand, well, it can feel kind of boring. It's quiet, but that's its superpower. It doesn't care if you're feeling it today. It just runs on commitment.
And because we love motivation so much, we fall into the most common trap there is. We wait. We just sit around waiting for that perfect mood to strike, for some magical wave of inspiration to hit us before we even think about starting. We're always telling ourselves, oh, I'll do it when I feel like it. But you know what? That strategy has a massive flaw. Feelings are the most unreliable boss you'll ever have.
I mean, this just cuts right to the truth, doesn't it? Life doesn't hit pause just because you're tired. Your responsibilities, your goals, the clock on the wall, none of it cares about your feelings. Progress is not going to wait around for you to feel good. So relying on your mood, well, it's just a fundamentally broken way to try and build a life.
So if waiting for motivation is a dead end, what's the alternative? Well, this is where we have to totally reframe what discipline even is. Most of us see it as this punishment, right? This rigid, awful chore we have to force ourselves through. But that's not it at all. We're about to see it's the exact opposite. It's not punishment, it's pure power.
And here it is, the great reframe. If you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. Discipline is not about hating yourself into action. It is, very simply, an act of self-respect. Every single time you choose discipline, you are sending a powerful message to yourself. You're saying, my future matters, my goals matter, I matter.
Think about it like this. Every day, with every action you take, you are casting a vote for the type of person you want to become. When you keep a promise to yourself, doesn't matter how small, your confidence gets a little boost. But every time you break one, that foundation of self-trust gets a little weaker.
And you know, this is what makes it all a level playing field. This isn't about who has the most natural talent or who's born with some special gift. The real reason most people get stuck isn't a lack of talent, it's a lack of consistency. They have that big, exciting, motivated start, and then they just quietly fade out when things get a little hard or a little boring.
So how in the world does this quiet, boring consistency lead to these huge breakthroughs? It all happens through this incredible, almost magical force called compounding. This is the engine where tiny, totally ordinary actions start to multiply into extraordinary, life-changing results.
And that's the whole formula, right there. It's not about one huge, heroic effort that changes everything in a weekend. Nope, it's about the small, unglamorous things that nobody ever sees you do. The actions you repeat day in, day out, especially on the days you really don't want it to.
So let's look at what this actually is in the real world. It's reading just 10 pages a day. It's going for that walk even when you're exhausted. It's pushing through that online course even when your brain feels like mush. Look, on any single day, these actions feel completely insignificant. But time is the secret ingredient. It acts like a multiplier, and over months and years, they compound into something absolutely massive.
This really highlights a fundamental flaw in how we think about making progress. We want these huge, instant results, so we try to cram a year's worth of work into one crazy week, we burn out completely, and then we give up. Discipline teaches us patience. It helps us shift our focus from the short-term sprint to the long-term marathon, which is where all the real transformation actually happens.
But as you're building this long-term vision, I've got to give you a critical warning. There is a silent killer of discipline, and its name is comparison. The second you start looking over at what someone else is doing, where they are in their journey, you're done. You get derailed. It either makes you rush and get sloppy, or it makes you quit because you feel so hopelessly behind. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. That's it.
Okay, I know. This all sounds like a whole lot of grinding, hard work. And you know what? It is. But what's the ultimate payoff? What do you get for all this effort? It's probably not what you think. It's not just about hitting a goal. It's about earning your freedom.
Let's just be totally clear about one thing. Discipline does not make you perfect. It doesn't mean you'll never mess up or have a bad day. Failure is a guaranteed part of the process. Everybody falls down, period.
And right here, this is where discipline shows its true power.
It was never about avoiding the fall. It's about what you do after you fall. The real skill, the rare skill, is getting back up again, and again, and again, without quitting. That consistency, that's the game changer.
When you practice getting back up over and over, something really profound starts to shift inside you. You finally break free from that emotional roller coaster of motivation. You don't need to feel good to do good anymore. You become reliable to yourself. And that builds this unshakable internal core of strength.
This is the ultimate prize. Self-trust. When you know, deep down, that you will keep the promises you make to yourself no matter what, your entire world changes. It transforms how you see yourself, the goals you dare to set, and the life you actually believe you're capable of building.
So we end with this amazing paradox. We're always taught to see discipline as this cage, right? A restriction that holds us back. But the real truth is, it's the exact opposite. All of that effort, all of that consistency, that's just the price of admission for real freedom. Freedom from your own moods, freedom from your worst habits, and the freedom to consciously design a life you truly respect. The only question left is, what are you going to choose?